Attention action crew, this video is a call to action. We will try to get the Brevard County Commission to take management of the jail away from the Brevard County Sheriffs Office and hire an administrator under their management. Make the jail responsive to the community. That is the way all jails should be managed. I'll tell you about it in this video and then go watch video 97 in my library for more details about why all jails need to be run independently of sheriffs. Action crew, watch for my email with instructions and please take action. This is how we make change and help people. Thank you so much for your commitment with helping me and everyone make changes in a broken criminal justice system. This is a big challenge, but one we need to tackle. Opening eyes is the very first step in making positive changes. If you are not a member of Larry Lawton's Action Crew, you can join now with the link in the pinned comments. Now please watch the video. God bless.
Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here, and I'm going to be talking about beating in prison that happened, and it's kind of touched my heart, so you guys know how I feel about this stuff. So I am going to talk about it, and I'm going to tell you some stories and my beliefs on this whole entire topic, along with what's going on in this crazy country right now. Anyway, before I get started, you know the drill. Please subscribe if you haven't. Also, please check us out on YouTube. Check us out on our member programs on Patreon as well. And join the Action Crew. As you know, we're starting something here in a few days. When I tell you I barely slept last night, it got me. But I read this last night and I had to cut it out of the paper because what it says is, inmates beating death at federal prison in Indiana investigated. The killing of an inmate who was beaten to death at a federal lockup in Indiana is under investigation by the FBI, according to documents obtained by Associated Press. An autopsy determined that the May death of Jose Nieves Galaras, 59 years old, I'll be 59 soon, was caused by blunt force injuries that caused him to bleed to death in his cell. The fatal beating was not publicly disclosed by prison officials and has not previously been reported. The blows were most likely inflicted by someone's boot. Think of what that just said. This got me sick because I've seen this abuse all the time in prison. I don't know what's going on where it's gotten reported. Maybe somebody's starting to pick up on it because the abuses are so bad in prisons. This is supposed to be, the human rights country, the good people. We're going to try to rehabilitate people. We know it's all baloney. It's all bullshit. They don't want to help. They want to punish and abuse people. All of these candidates that talk about how we're going to do criminal justice reform, they sicken me because it's all about talk. It really is. It's all about talk. Why can't they do things? I can implement things right now. Let me explain what I can do right now to fix the prison system. And I want to fix the prison system, whether it's the county jail or whether it's a prison. And here's how we do it. I'm going to tell you how to do it right now. And if they want my help, I will put together teams and we will do it for nothing. We will get the people who own these prisons, and I'm talking the medical facilities that are hired, we'll get those, or we'll get the private prison industry, the ones I hate so much, to pay for what I can implement to stop these kind of abuses. First of all, we know these abuses are happening all the time, and they're going unchecked because they're people without voices. I know because I was strapped down naked, beaten, and pissed on by guards. Literally strapped down naked. Guard took his penis out, beat on me. And I'm getting my goosebumps again because this topic always touches me in a way that it gets me outraged, and I can't be like that. A week and a half ago, I'm hurting. My back is still hurting. You can see my head is still cut from a car accident. And, even that accident, as bad as it was, I keep thinking back to some of the beatings that I took. And I wonder why they had to do it. What kind of bullshit they're all about, these people. But how do we fix it? Everybody always asks me, Larry, what would you do? The first thing I would do is I would put together a team. And what I mean by that is the governor of a state or in an area, let's call it the county jail, So you're not going to get sheriffs. Sheriffs are ones that are either causing it or not caring about it, or using the jail as a money a grab. They're not giving a shit about people in their jail. Let me explain how a sheriff manipulates money so you can think about it. Now, in some counties, let's take Florida. In some counties, the jail is run by a jail administrator who is hired by a city council. That's a city or county commission. And that's the way it should be done. This way, if there's a problem in the jail and a county commissioner asks that jail administrator to figure it out and he doesn't, they can fire him. And the people can then go to their commissioner and say, hey, listen, my loved one's in that jail. I want to know what's going on. And those commissioners, whether it's 5 or 7, depending on the county you're in, if there's 5 county commissioners, you then can get answers. Because right now, in some counties, the sheriff controls the jail. Let me tell you why that's bullshit and why it shouldn't be allowed. Here's how the sheriff manipulates numbers to get what he wants. Take a county where I live. There's about a little over 500,000 people, maybe 540,000 people in this county. 540,000. And now that sheriff, what does he do? He has the jail. That's part of his charge. The jail budget is approximately $40 million. We don't know because the sheriff in this county won't give you a line item budget. He won't do it. Don't ask me why. He professes to be a Republican. How can you be a Republican if you won't be fiscally responsible and you won't be transparent? I don't get it. I don't get people who don't see that as a Republican and anything for Democrat or Republican, and I don't get it. I really don't. But anyway, let's get back to the sheriff. Here's what the sheriff can do and make it real easy. When he wants his jail to have a lower population so people think, oh, wow, look, the sheriff is doing good. You know, crime rate's down. Look, doesn't have as many people in jail. He orders his sheriff deputies not to arrest anyone unless it's a very serious offense. So what does he do? All the little bullshit that he bothers people with normally, he doesn't bother them. He doesn't arrest them. So what happens? The jail numbers come down. When he wants to make the jail crowded and overcrowded and look, I need funding, we need help, what does he do? He puts out a directive to, I don't care if a guy's got a marijuana joint, put him in jail. Brings the jail numbers up. That's how they can maneuver numbers in a jail. And it's wrong because they're playing with human lives. Literally playing with human lives. And sad as it is done all over. So sheriffs have to give up control, and they don't have to give it up. The county commissioner in any county can actually take that jail away from the sheriff. It's not his. He's given that budget by the state and the county to run the county jail. So they could take that away from him. And if they were responsible people themselves, they would do that. And they would take control and hire an administrator. And then they would be able to control what goes on in that jail and get answers to family members. Because right now, if you're somebody that the sheriff doesn't like, you ain't getting any answers. You're just a nobody. He don't give a shit about you. But if you're a political donor to his campaign, or you are a kiss ass to the sheriff, oh, he'll do what you want. So that's making a person like myself or my mother or somebody else have to kiss ass to this guy to maybe get answers. That's BS, everybody. It's bullshit, and it should stop. And here's how we can fix it if they really want to fix the jails and prisons. Take it a county. Let's just take it at the county level. They should put together a team, and the team will consist of an ex-felon like Larry Lawton, a guard, ex-guard who did it, and a nurse, a bookkeeper, and a higher-ranked administrative official like either a major or maybe a warden or somebody of that nature. And they put this team together, and they give them the authority to go into that jail anytime they want, unannounced, period. They have authorization to go into that jail anytime unannounced. And here's what they do. They then go in that jail and one, they inspect the jail without what they call a pre-inspection. What happens in Maine prisons now, they have something called the ACA, American Accreditation Association. They accredit prisons. What a crock of shit it is. Because here's what they do, and I lived it. In the Federal Bureau of Prisons, they would have these ACAs come and they'd accreditate the prison, which meant bullshit, which is the biggest total bullshit there is. I hope there's some congressmen and senators that are watching this. Because here's what they do. They paint the roads, paint the sidewalks, they put new flowers in. They actually feed the inmates good that day. They take unruly inmates and they put them in a part of the hole that they don't show anybody. Literally, I was in the hole during one of these, and there was a man who was mentally disabled, totally shot. He would take feces out of his ass and write demonic pictures on the wall. And they would take that man, he'd be screaming and crying and singing. It was so sad, people. It broke my heart because I knew how mental the person was. And they stick him in the corner like he's a piece of meat. The inhumanity we have in our system is really, really not what this country is supposed to be about. But sadly, it's what it is about. And it has to stop. But if you put the team together that I want to put together, you could then go into that jail and the guards are going to know how it works. The warden will know how it works. The doctor or nurse will know what proper procedures and medical care is supposed to be. And guess what? The inmate, Larry Lawton, will know what they really do and will be able to get the inmates to talk to me. So the first question I get is, why is anybody that you know if they talk to this team, they're going to get abused afterwards? Not at all, because what I do is I would set up a process where the person you speak to gets to write us every week. If we don't get a letter from him, we're coming back into that prison and somebody's getting fired. If we don't hear from him or he's all of a sudden in the hole for something, we can then investigate that thing by going back in there. Because we, this team, has unfettered access to that jail. That's very important because that puts them on their toes at all times. Do you know, years ago, in this exact jail I'm in, they had and this was told to me by guards in the facility, they have filters, air filters. Well, what they did was they would put the date and put for inspection only on the filter. So they would actually only use that filter during an inspection and then take it out when the inspection people go and put the garbage up there that's there so people are not even getting air that's normal. That happens. I've dealt with so many cases of abuse at the jail that it breaks my heart. And everybody who knows me know one of my passions is trying to correct a broken criminal correctional facility. You want to call it a jail, you want to call it a prison, you can call it anything you want. Obviously, I'm dealing with a case in the county I am in right now where there was a death of an inmate, and if you haven't seen that video, please go back into my library and the playlist and check out the video of what they did to a veteran, a disabled veteran, a combat veteran named Gregory Edwards in the Brevard County Jail. He goes there after having a PTSD episode, and he ends up dead. In a restraint chair, dead. Next day, dead. Has a confrontation. They admit there's a confrontation, but to this day, the sheriff refuses to release the video of what happened And nobody can understand why. He's a very powerful man, very influential, but he is not a Republican. I mean, you know, everybody, this is a very Republican county. And I'm a middle of the road person. This man professes to be a Republican, but he has zero transparency and zero fiscal responsibility. So you tell me, if you're a Republican, would you vote for a guy like that? I want you to put in the comments, would you vote for a man if you're a Republican and he refuses to release, forget the release of it, even release the video, transparency, what's going on, transparency, and fiscal responsibility. Those are the two hallmarks or staples of any strong Republican. In my view, it should be any strong politician. I believe in transparency and I believe in fiscal responsibility. If you're spending my money, my tax money, you should tell me how you do it. This sheriff refuses to release his line item budget, so nobody can see where his money comes from, what he does with his money. It boggles my mind. It truly boggles my mind. But that's what it is right here. So we're going to see what we're going to do about that. But putting together that team to straighten out a jail will be the single best thing a state can do. If I had a team, and we can fund the team by the people who get contracts for that jail, and it could be the private prison system, it could be the private healthcare systems. We put together a team. I don't care if it's a $5 million budget with vehicles and an office and everything. And they then have access to every single prison in the state of Florida. Their goal will be not to get people and catch people and fire people. Their goal will be to fix the broken prison system. The first thing that happened is I put together this team, and on Sunday at 11 at night, I'm going to go to a Sumter Correctional Institution in the state of Florida, and I'm going to knock on that door, and I'm going to have the pass, because every warden and every team will be notified by the governor and the director of the Bureau of Prisons that there is a special team, and they have unfettered access at any time, period. If you refuse to let them in, you will be fired. Now, what happens is, we go there at 2 in the morning one day, any day, and we go in with the team, and they don't let us there. It would take one time, one person would get fired, and word would go out throughout the whole entire state system, whatever state you're in, and they'd say, you better let them in. Because the goal is not just to catch people doing things, it's the goal to find out where the problems are. Once we, the team, go through everything, get inmate stories, you pull them out, you talk to them, various inmates, various units. When you do that, you then make a report, and you give that report to the warden. And you let the warden know you have 30 days to fix this, or whatever it takes to fix these problems. And we will be back. And you don't tell them when you're going to be back. Now, if the warden doesn't fix those problems, he's fired. This is the only way to protect and fix a broken prison system, because if you give unfettered access and you give a surprise visit, and I mean truly a surprise visit, none of this bullshit they do now, ACA, and they know weeks ahead of time and all the crap that comes along with that. It's a joke. It really is a joke, everybody. But if you did what I am talking about, you would then put people on notice. Hey, I don't know when they're going to come. And they'd stop this little crap of fixing air filters with dates for inspections and painting this shit. You'd see the real food. You'd see what is being done in a prison system. You'd see the books. You'd see the medical care. You'd talk to people in the hole and find out who's getting abused or not. This is the way to bring back trust, even the inmates and the family members of people incarcerated. Let me tell you something why it's going to change. The United States has got 2.2 million people incarcerated. Every inmate equates to 4 votes. 4 votes. That means Larry Lawton, who's in prison, has brothers and sisters and parents and friends that are going to vote. If you're hard on prisons, you're an asshole and all this, they're not going to vote for you. And then I might have 20 votes that people would support what I do. And then you have maybe an illegal immigrant or a person who doesn't have any family or any, and I've seen that. It's very sad. They don't have any votes. But they've done some studies, and the average is 4 votes per inmate. Well, if you times 2.2 million people incarcerated, that's 8.8, almost 9 million votes. It sways elections, and it sways national elections. So this can really work for the benefit of people in office or going for office. Who should support this? Listen, I'm just giving you guys my take on how we can stop abuses like I just read that light me up to no avail. It gets me so hot to see what's going on, and nobody's doing anything about it. That's sad, guys. We are in a sad state. We really are.
Attention action crew, this video is a call to action. We'll try to get the Brevard County Commission to take management of the jail away from the Brevard County Sheriffs Office and hire an administrator under their management. Make the jail responsive to the community. This is the way all jails should be managed. I talked about it, and you saw how bad jails and what changes we need in prisons in the video you just watched. Now please go watch video number 97 in my library for more details about why jails need to be run independently of sheriffs. It's a tragic video, but it's one you must watch. Action crew, watch for my emails with instructions, and please, please take action. This is how we make change and help people. Thank you so much for your commitment with helping me and everyone make changes in a broken criminal justice system. This is a big challenge, but one that we need to tackle. Opening eyes is the first step, and change is possible. If you are not a member of Larry Lawton's Action Crews, you can join now with the link in the pinned comments or on any of our videos. Just look at the description and you're going to see Larry Lawton's Action Crew. Have a great day. God bless, and thanks for being a member, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe.